Hi, this is Katrina Shealy with Exit Realty Preferred, and I'm here today with Constance Crawford, also known as Connie. Tell us a little bit about your business and give us the full name of the business.
Okay, the full name is Artisan Art and Framing. It used to be, before I owned it, a fast frame. This store has been here for 20 and a half years. So it's had a long history. And I was the manager for 9 years, and then the owners retired, and I purchased it. And we changed it from being a franchise to a family business. And now my son, my youngest son, and my daughter both work here, and it's wonderful.
Tell me about some of the services that you have here.
Well, obviously we're picture framing, but we do shadow boxes, which every shadow box is a new and interesting challenge. Jerseys, a lot of jerseys. People always call us and ask us, do you do jerseys? We do stretching of paintings and framing of paintings. We do a lot of repairs, not on the paintings themselves, but we do a lot of frame repairs. We're not afraid to take a customer's work in and fix their frame that fell off the wall and things like that. Reframe. Things get old and dated and people like the art, but they want to give it a new look. And that has actually been the real boom that we've had since people came out of seclusion from COVID. I think they sat around their house for a while, looked around and said, I really need to change some things. And so we've gotten a lot of that. One thing that a lot of people don't know yet, but more and more people are learning because we have an online site now, store, but we do giclée printing. And for those that don't know what giclée means, because I get that question all the time, and it's a French word that means literally to spray, but as opposed to an inkjet printer that most people have at home or in their office, these inks are not water-based. They're pigment-based. So just like the old masters who painted and made their own paints from the pigments, that's how these inks are. So they have a several hundred-year lifespan. We print on canvases, fine art papers. So we have artists who want to have their work reproduced, and we do prints for them. And 5 different types of photo papers. We have a wide variety. We can print up to 40 inches wide. It's on a roll, so pretty much as long as you want it. We do a ton of photo restoration. People that have old photos that have been damaged in some way, they can bring them in, and we scan it, and then we have a company that we've used, forever, and we trust them implicitly. Never had a customer unhappy. We scan it, and they digitally recreate the picture, and then we can order prints for the customer. And there's, if you've ever had a picture that has stuck to glass, which most people I know have, there is no trick in the world, because I've tried them all, that will get that picture off that glass. So we scan it right through the glass, and they get a brand new picture.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And the prices are reasonable, so it's not like they, have to spend a fortune to get this done. So we have a lot of people it doesn't have to be heirloom pictures or whatever. It's just, if it's a picture that they really like, if it's the only one, and it got damaged somehow, we can get them a new picture. We're big about family. family and local.
Yeah, I
We're
tell
real
you.
big about that.
Well, speaking of local, you've probably seen a lot of changes in the area while you've been here.
I have, just in this shopping center. It's so sad that so many small businesses have had to close. We like to shop local as much as we can. It's very, if I didn't have the customers that I have, they got us through the reconstruction of the shopping center,
Oh, yeah.
which took, oh my gosh, months and months and months. They had our signs down. They had scaffolding in front of our shop. And people would call me and say, "Are you open?" Because, so they got us through that. And then when COVID hit, we actually had customers who had orders here and they had paid a deposit on them, and they would call us and pay the balance over the phone.
Wow.
To help us with cash flow, even though their pieces weren't ready and they couldn't pick them up anyway. And then we had, even after people were able to come in, we would have customers pay us in full as opposed to paying a deposit, and they would tell us, "No, you need it for your cash flow. I'm gonna have to pay it anyway when I pick it up. We'll just pay it now." So they really got us through it.
So if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
Oh, so many. Calling us, we like calls because we can, text messages and emails. It's very hard to convey tone. Sometimes it's very hard to explain things in the right words for the customer to understand. The number one thing is we do not expect our customers to be framers. That's why they come here.
Mhm.
Whenever we're working with them, we don't just say, "No, that's not gonna look good. No, you should use this." We explain everything. And it's their choice what they want to use and how they want things done. But we make sure that they're educated and that they understand. So calling is a great way for us to at least connect. A lot of calls, I would say the majority of our calls end up with a visit. So, because they felt on the phone that we knew what we were doing, we know, so they would come in.
Well, how would somebody find your store?
For new customers, Google seems to be the most used tool.
Mhm.
Because we ask every customer that comes in that has not framed here before or purchased anything before, how did you find us? We get a lot of a friend, my mother, recommended.
Mhm.
But most of them are that they went on the web. And we have, I think, 61 reviews on Google. So they can certainly read, just in Google, they can read a lot about how our other customers feel about us. And Google, once they get on Google, they often will then go to our webpage or go to our Facebook page, and see other things where they can see examples. Well, even on Google, they can see examples of our work. And that's what brings them in. And they tell me that. Your reviews brought us here.
And you're in a really good location here too.
Oh, yes.
So easy to find in the shopping center here at the corner of Westridge and Battleground.
Yep.
Just right next to the Kohl's almost.
That's what we say every time. When people say, "Well, where are you on Battleground?" And the first thing I say is, "Do you know where Kohl's is?"
Mhm.
If they don't know where Kohl's is, I say, "Do you know where Village Tavern is?" "Oh, yes." Because those are the two main things, And I always just say 2 doors down from Kohl's.
There you go.
And then they come in. So we are, the location, that term location. This is a great location.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us today.
Yeah.
And of course, if anybody wants to get in touch with them, I will leave the information below on how to get in touch.